Good evening, everyone, and thank you for giving your time this evening. We are talking tonight about Malvern International, an education provider with a mission of taking part in people's journey to success, and our vision to be a global learning and a skills development partner. Just to introduce myself and Bharat in the team, we are both from education sector, and we call ourselves educationists. I've been in New Zealand for about 8 years, operating a company over there, a successful education center in New Zealand, and I've been promoted to become the CEO of the company around 2011. The company was making around 2 million worth of revenue and making losses of 500,000 per year, and I've been given the opportunity to turn the business around. We have managed to bring the business forward to a situation where it has grown revenue-wise and profit-wise, came up from losing about 500,000 per year to around break-even level, and then going to about 2.6 million profit, followed by about 6.5 million profit, followed by 11 million and 15 million when I left. Those numbers are very interesting numbers, and I'm going to be using it towards introducing the education industry as well. Because if we look at the numbers that we have here, it started from negative 500, came to break even, then it started building up. And the speed of profitability you can see is very big. The reason is in the education sector, we have fixed facilities and fixed assets, then you start filling it up in a very simple way. And the profitability, when it's realized, it can go up very fast. However, my mission is not only to make profit. My mission number one is to make a successful education center as a center of excellence. And with that, profitability flows. And through our experience in New Zealand, I've managed not only make this business successful in terms of profitability, it was rated as a top quality provider of the country. We have gone through a very interesting journey, and we have acquired four other businesses, and they were all businesses which were on the edge of bankruptcy, and they were not doing well at all. We didn't have money to buy good businesses. So I've managed to get 4 more businesses and turn them around inside the group. And purely because of the programs they had, we acquired those schools. Because programs in education term is our products. And the more of products we had, the more we have offered to our students, to our clients. With me, I have Bharat Guha. He is also from New Zealand. He has been in education center for 20 plus years. Most of his time he has been operating in a government-owned polytechnic in Invercargill, south of New Zealand. I wouldn't say it's the last town in the world. It's the first town when you come from South Pole. But the business was very successful, and they have done very well. We have worked together a little bit in joint venture projects. It started with a funded project to deliver English language in a blended format across the country. Bharat joined us about 4 or 5 months ago. My reasoning of bringing him was I wanted a CFO from education sector, someone who can understand education, not only a CFO who can understand the numbers. We have a lot to deal with. The education is a specialized area that not many people understand when they are in the business, and that's why a lot of education businesses face problem. The question would be perhaps why education is a business to go in if we look at it as a business and as an investment. In the old days, I would go to the school, finish it, go to university, successful and happy ending of my education path, parents happy, everybody happy. I would find a job, a successful career over 30, 40 years of the same job, and that's it. Today's life is different. End of university is just the start of the learning journey. All of us know it. We have to update ourselves, whether it's self-study, whether it's attending the courses, taking short courses, going to workshops, or changing career, going to some evening courses, learning some new skills. You know, our top jobs these days in terms of technicality goes to IT people, but they are the ones who are in most need for updating their skills continuously. They go to evening courses, they go to weekend courses, they try to improve their situation. So what we are saying here is that education is in demand and is in a serious demand, and it will continue being in demand. And that's why I take you back now to the first slide. We say we are learning and skills development. So a big chunk of our plans relates to skills development of the society. Shape of our organization. So we are an education provider. I've been in this business for 2 years. In 3 days, it will become 2 years. I've selected to join this business. It was a very interesting business for me to come in. The day I walked into the business, it was in a very bad shape, but I've done a thorough due diligence across the board, and I liked the platform, what I could build on top of. So I've personally selected to put £450,000 in, buy my own shares at 5p when the share price was 1.3p. 80% loss day one. My entire friendship network in New Zealand were laughing at me. But I had serious confidence in this business, and I thought, we will build it up. And this is the challenge I want right now. Going through the business for 2 years, we worked very hard and smartly as well. Try to build it, whether it's a system and administration, quality assurance programs and everything, and also building the network of it and try to move it forward while we're fixing the internal problems. And within 2 years, the achievement that I'm proud of it today is the fact that we have these 3 regions that we started with. However, when I started, there was a Malvern House London operation in the UK offering only English language. Today, there is a mixture. We have Manchester Communicate, which was a successful acquisition. It started 2nd of July this year. And we have University of East London, which is a partnership joint venture. And we are delivering the first year of a 4 years degree at the university for the university. So we are a contractor to them. Malaysia was 2 branches, is still 2 branches. I'll talk to it when we get to it. Singapore, we started with a small operation of 70 students. Through the course of the year, I was looking for opportunity, find a very good opportunity in Singapore, a school making about £900,000 losses per year. I went and said, I want it. And we decided to go for this school because it had too many products. The owners, which was partially owned by government, Singapore Chartered Accountant Association, they asked for 4 million initially, Sing dollar, 2 million pounds roughly. We have negotiated it down, and after a few rounds of walking away from the deal, we got it at 500,000 Sing dollar, 360,000 or 370,000 pounds. Added a lot of value to our group, and I will talk about it later as well. Global Learning Technology and Malvern Online Academy. We started way back from last year to start building slowly our online, because in 10 years' time, we might not have these classrooms. It might all be different. It might be a mixture. It might be completely different. We don't know now. We have been testing it with the students. Others have been testing it with the students. What we know is that there is a big demand for online right now. The company itself started in 1980s from Asia, and in 2004, it was listed on AIM. It had a very challenging history of listing. So it went through a few years, then it had a few administrative and quality problems across the board, which I only link it back to the leadership and the leadership issues of not managing the situations well. And it came to 2016 when it was bleeding, and you can see all the figures. It made about 8-9 million losses over the course of a few years, and I decided to walk in. This is a summary of what we offer, and I pretty much talked about it. So we have different types of clients, from local students, international students, high school, job seekers, migrants, working adults, and corporations. These are all our clients. They come here, they go through the journey to success. That's what our mission is. And they will exit on the other side as professional, as higher skilled people, or as people who have better language skills or have a degree or better leaders or whatever their goal was. In terms of group growth strategy, initially I mentioned quality matters to us a lot. So our number one strategic goal is center of excellence. One of the problems I have faced in a number of times when I've been dealing with our investors, with our shareholders, and even the boards and other people, was that the talk goes directly to the financial, which is absolutely right. I'm responsible to give financial figures back. However, what matters is the product. What matters is the quality of product. And in our case, it's a service. So what matters is the experience the clients are getting, the quality of the service we are offering. There is no difference between an education center and the Mercedes in Germany or any other car producer or Apple or anyone else. They have to have quality product to sell it at the right price and to generate demand. So we are the same, and it matters to us a lot. We invest a lot in the quality side and to the experience our clients are getting. And we have, on the second area, we have expansion plans through partnerships. We are looking at global partners. If we go back to our vision, we talked about learning and skills development partner. Before I came, the vision was leading education or leading learning and skills development. I've changed it to global learning and skills development partner because we don't want to produce all the products ourselves. We have an opportunity to go to a university, grab their product, use our global reach, take it around the world. Okay, in terms of our presence, we have currently physical presence in London, Manchester, Singapore, and Malaysia. In terms of our partnerships, we have University of East London. These are only small examples. London School of Accounting and Finance in Indonesia. It's a strategic partner. We have signed an agreement recently in Indonesia. It's part of our global reach to allow students to move between the centers. Playware Studios, Oxford University Press. We are dealing with Oxford University Press on building games for language learning, which will be double branded between us and them. So these are mobile game, and it's part of our gamification strategy. ACCA, we have a partnership with them across the globe, Singapore, Malaysia, and UK. And we have Malvern Online Academy as well. If you want to look at the division between our schools, Malaysia takes about 26% of our students in 2017, London 37%, and Singapore 37%. Adding Manchester to this and this year's performance, Malaysia is pretty much around 20 or under 20%. London still is a big contributor. Manchester is about 10 to 15%, and Singapore is around the same area, 30%, 30+%. One of the areas that I was really concerned was to be focused on what we are offering and know the direction we are going to. Because a lot of people, a lot of the schools, and that's one of the problems a lot of the schools face, they just pick up any product and mix and match and put it together and say, okay, this is what I'm offering, this will make money, I will offer it. We are focused on the areas. The green ones are where we are right now. And the yellow ones are what we are working on right now. And the red one are what we are thinking about. Not that we are not working towards it, we are working towards it, but they are coming slowly. And we want to have center of excellence in each of these areas. One of the strategies we have is to make sure that we are having a global reach. So for each of these areas, let's take English language. We are synergizing our schools. So whatever offered in London is offered in Manchester, is offered in Singapore, and is offered in Malaysia. And from the end of this month, we are having a prospectus covering all for English language, for example. This gives the students freedom of moving between the campuses and gaining different experience. I have a student this year coming to London to study English language for 2 months. And this student is traveling every summer to different destinations. So I'll tell him, look, this summer you come to London. It's the center of English language learning. That's your best experience. And anybody at their young age has to travel to London and stay for a while, at least once in their life. You come to London this year and get the experience and go back. Do another year of studies at your school, wherever you are, and come back next summer. Where? Singapore. Why should I go to Singapore? Oh, cost is half. half of the price you spend here on accommodation and other things is in Singapore. Everybody knows Singapore is expensive, but only Orchard Road is expensive. You go around, it's not. And what else Singapore has? Oh, every weekend, you jump on the plane, an hour later, you're in Bali. Next weekend, go to Phuket. Next weekend, go to Penang. It's a holiday and a studies. So we have our selling points for every of our locations that we put to them and try to retain the customers back and allow them to move between the centers as well. Just to give an overview of the courses we offer, we have in London, we are mainly English language, which is in the next slide, but we have started ACCA as well, accounting. That's the global reach we were talking. So when you look at here, you can see that the courses, we are trying to make them global. Singapore is a gold member of ACCA, and we have recently been told that it's improving to platinum, which is a step higher. And Malaysia, we offer ACCA as well. Going down, a number of reputable qualifications we are offering across the board. CIMA, University of London's London School of Economics. We offer their programs in Singapore. We offer business degrees with different strands. University of Wales, we offer in Malaysia. CFA in Malaysia. And at the University of East London is what I said about offering foundation at the University of East London. I'll talk a little bit about the financials of it as we progress forward. And we offer English language across the board in all of our centers. We offer groups and camps across the board. Possibly you have seen our first half of the year results, and we have seasonal performance. Second half of the year is always better for us. Why is that? Because we have the summer in the second half, July and August. And that's where London and Manchester perform heavily. Because we run groups. And we bring students from different parts of the world and set them in London, give them accommodation, activities and everything, teach them English language for 2 weeks, up to 1 month, some of them up to 2 months. How do we reach our market? There are different segments of the market. The local markets have a different reach. We go through our social media, through our local marketing staff and the support we have. International marketing is a different game altogether. So in the international market, we work with agencies. They're called International Students Recruitment Agents, similar to travel agencies. And they purely recruit students to go overseas. So they help us to find the students and bring to our centers. And they get a success fee from us rather than salaries or all other things. Okay, Bharat and I coming from education background, beauty of Bharat's involvement is, although he was CFO, but he was a hands-on education CFO, so he was involved in the marketing side as well. We both have a big network of international agents around the world. The remaining of this chart, which is not shown any color, is not because we don't have network. We are building it one by one. We are opening it one by one. We have regional managers supporting our agents. So we have a staff in Brazil, we are getting a staff in Colombia, and we are getting a staff in Mexico. And we have a few staff in London covering Europe and Russia. We have a few staff in Singapore covering Asian parts. This belongs to 2017. In 2018, we have expanded our market, and now we are in Indonesia, we are in Vietnam, we are in Myanmar, and Sri Lanka, and South India. So we are opening up one by one. We have the agency network, but we need to visit them, and we need to have a staff to take care of them and make sure that they are looked after. 7 regions, we have divided it. One of the beauties of having this group of schools is that we don't have to invest a lot in marketing. We do have to invest a lot in marketing, but we don't have to because we have 4 schools. We don't have to invest 4 times that amount. The same person who's traveling to, say, Argentina, before he was going and saying, come to London to study English language. Now he's going out and saying, come to London and study English language and University of East London. And next time he's going and saying, come to London, study English language and University of East London. If his if you don't want to go to London, we have other destinations as well. You can go to Singapore and study other things. You can go to Malaysia and study other things. So the same staffing is involved, the same travel costs, everything is the same. And now we are putting our prospectus together as well. So everything is managed through one channel of marketing and sales. It's giving us a big opportunity in terms of economies of scales and marketing our schools around the world. And also it's creating a very good image for us because people are looking at us up now and saying, oh, you're bigger. So there were a lot of agents that when I started with Malvern, although they knew me, they said, no, I'm not going to work with you, too small. Or within the course of 2 years, they're back. They're saying, oh, it's bigger now. How did you get this university? How did you get this? We have an acquisition as well, and the second acquisition. So we'll work with you now. In terms of our strategy going forward, so number one was center of excellence, building systems and processes, making sure that we have enough support, we are quality assured, our programs are good, and we have a shared services helping the whole group. I have a team in Nepal, and they are so giving the back office support to all of our schools. It started as a back office support for our digital marketing. Now it's getting to cover admission, accounts, administrative support to the whole group. And it's bringing us a lot of cost saving. Plus it's helping us in terms of covering our locations. The staff is sick, the staff is on holiday, someone else is there, is covering them. And we continue with our partnership. University of East London is a start of it. It will continue to be more. 2019 forward, we are working on university delivery, corporate training. It's a very interesting area. Corporate training, I said at the start of it, we need more training. Everybody these days need to go through more and more skills training and upgrading their skills. Corporate training is a very interesting area. We started this project from Singapore and we are going to go global next year. And what we have done is we have talked to a number of our partners, good partners. For example, ACCA. It's a membership body. They have 200,000 members around the world. And these 200,000 members need to do at least 30 hours of training per year to maintain their membership. 30 hours of training per year. And we are getting our courses recognized by ACCA, so we can offer it to all these 200,000 members, either face-to-face in the locations we have, or through our live delivery. And the school online building and gamification. I talked about gamification and what we are doing with Oxford University Press. And in 2020 and onward, we are working more on digital expansion. As I mentioned earlier, we think online is the answer in the future. So we will be having more work on the online. We started working on adaptive learning and AI. We are not planning to invest in it at all. We are too small to be competing with the big players. We will be following. We'll let others lead and we will hire from them whatever technology they have. However, it doesn't mean we have parked it somewhere. We have already started talking with players who have invested 60 million, 100 million into their products, and they are looking for someone to test it. This shows what happened from 16 to 18. In 2016, Malvern was 3 small schools. In London, a small school. In Singapore, a smaller school. In Malaysia, slightly more sizable in Malaysia, but lesser revenue because you're converting Malaysian ringgit to pound. In 2017, so I arrived in Malvern September 16, 2016. I started building it, making sure quality is there, everything is managed and everything is sustainable. I started our digital projects right straight away from 2017. And we started building according to our strategic plan. Chain of accounting schools was what we started in 2017. And the acquisition of SAA, Global Education in Singapore, was directly linked to this because they were accounting specialized. And degrees, we started having degrees from University of London and other centers. 2018, we started our online school, which is going to become a division soon, a big division on its own. University Foundation Division, which started at University of East London, and we'll have more of it. Chain of English School, Manchester, London, Singapore, Malaysia. Hope our acquisitions now make sense because of these chains. And we have improved revenue across the group. Our result shows that our revenue is going up. Bharat will be talking more on that, and reduce the bid to loss. Yeah, so we are showing this the improvement in the organization and where we are heading to, and bearing in mind that second half of the year is our performing side of the year, is our peak season. The results from second half, our bookings, based on what we have published, so I can openly talk about, our bookings are very healthy, and we are on track to perform for the second half of the year, and the growth in first half will show what will happen in the second half as well. Range of online products we're working on right now, so I leave this one aside, and I invite Bharat to come and talk about the financials. Here you are.
Tēnā koutou, kia ora. Good evening, everyone. Great to be in your lovely city of London again. My name is Bharat Guha. I've been a chartered accountant for the last 25 years in the education sector in New Zealand. Worked with Sam on quite a few different projects. One of the things I just would like to point out, in the global educational sector, you very seldom have an academic like Dr. Sam Malafeh, who is also a business person and a CEO leading an organization. That's one of the reasons why I joined Malvern about 5 months ago. Very excited with the prospect, because it's not always that you see a smaller PLC company based in 3 countries. So what we have here is the 30th of June 2018 6 months interim report. The revenue has grown by 58%. Our EBITDA has improved by 60%, although it's still showing a loss, but it's a loss of 217,000 as compared to 360 the previous year. Net loss is sitting at just 371,000, and that's about 6% improvement. Reason being is that we had an impairment of £75,000. In terms of the different country operations, we operate 6 operating entities within the group. With London, Malvern House London, again, as Sam has mentioned, it's a seasonal business. We've had a very strong first 6 months, showing a profit for the first time of £82,000. Second half of the year, we expect that to be stronger. In terms of Singapore, SAA Global Education was purchased in November last year. We have turned it around. It's still showing a loss at the moment. However, if we compare it to the same time last year with SAA Global Education, it would be about £399,000. We have stabilized Malaysia. If you look at the figures here, comparing it to the same period last year, it shows a dip of 30%. But the second half of last year, our revenue was £600,000, which would be in line with the first half of what we've done this year. We expect the same revenue stream for this year, and what we're working towards is actually stopping the bleed in Malaysia and stabilizing it. In terms of our balance sheet is a lot stronger this year as compared to the previous year. We did have a subscription of 100 million shares, raising £4 million. That was actually oversubscribed. Our deferred income is sitting at 1.2 million. So deferred incomes means that students who have paid us the funds but still have yet to undertake their studies. So that's why we can confidently inform that we expect a very good second half from now on to the end of the year. Our net cash is now sitting at 3.11 million. And also, we've got a convertible loan with some shareholders of 1.1 million. They've converted £540,000 of it. So thank you for listening in. I'll just pass it on to Sam.
Thank you, Bharat. Just in terms of net cash, 3.1, it was before paying for the acquisition of Manchester. So 1.65 million of it was gone towards the acquisition. These figures belong to end of June 2018, and the acquisition was 2nd of July. So to summarize what we have been doing in 2018 and possibly a little bit earlier in late 2017, we have been trying to offer quality services, and what we really love to see here is that it has been acknowledged by local government bodies. So we have here Singapore, the Edu Trust, the Committee for Private Education in Singapore has come to visit us, and they have checked our quality, and they have reconfirmed that we are 4 years age, you trust the school, which means you have a good quality. Malaysia, we had a star rating improvement from 3-star to 4-star. Going back to these figures, one might ask question, and I'm sure you will ask, why did you have drop in Malaysia? Our first goal is to have center of excellence. And when I arrived in Malvern, I didn't like the quality of some of the students in Malaysia. So we noticed to students around March, April last year, we did a cleanup. And we did not allow a lot of students to re-enroll for the next year. And these are students who were not having good record of learning, failing a lot of papers, and there was a correlationship between their failure and their attendance in the classes. So notices was given for them to attend the classes. They didn't follow, and based on our procedure, we terminated their enrollment. Because we need quality, we need reputation to be able to build the school up. The revenue last year came as a result of that down to 600 and 560 this year. We have stabilized it now. We are working towards the courses that we want to keep and the ones that we want to grow. What I can tell you is that please do not expect an immediate growth. It's going to be a slow, but it's not going to lose anymore because we have managed it and we have controlled it. We are making enough growth across the group, so this wouldn't affect us at all going forward until we get through this period and we start realizing growth in Malaysia as well. In terms of products, so University of East London is one example. SAA Global Education in Singapore we acquired, has a lot of products, educational products inside it. CFA in Malaysia. And at the end of the day, we want to have a unique service experience. We want to be different to others. And we mean it. We offer a lot of add-ons that makes the students happy. We make sure that we have returning students or people who are referring us to others. Diversification, we want to avoid any risk going forward. So we don't want to be in a situation that one market change the whole business or drop the whole business. So for that reason, we want to have a mixture of sources of income. And we have been working on it and we are achieving it. Government-funded programs, we have about 15% of our revenue currently is coming from government-funded programs. Local and professional offerings, international offerings, and online academy, although we don't have any percentage of our revenue for the first 6 months as online, but we are building it towards the start of 2019. And it's out there, it's just in the promotion stage, and we have 1,100 students already registered in it. Market penetration, we are growing in the markets that we have been. We are still a very small player. So in every market we can grow a lot. It's not the end of it. And we are developing new markets as well. Just as a summary, why invest in Malvern International? Malvern has a experienced management with excellent track record, culture of operational excellence, a strong brand name. Malvern is known internationally because of its London operation. The group name used to be AEC. I changed it to Malvern based on market research because when I checked with all the agents around the world, Malvern was known. And they knew it, and they knew it as a quality brand. Partnership with leading educational and professional institutions, global footprint, and through Malvern Online Academy, established growth strategy. We are committed to quality and accessibility. And we have in our strategy organic growth initiatives. We also have acquisition strategy. We are continuously looking for businesses that are worthy to be considered. We are checking at least 5-6 businesses per month, but we are turning it down. We are not looking for a business that can only add more profit to our business. No, that's not our aim, and it's not reflected in any of our acquisitions as well. We are looking for businesses that can add value to us, and we can add value to them as well. So something that we cannot do alone. Like, for example, I had an English school in Oxford Street said, you can buy us, we are making this much profit. And I said, I don't need it. It's the same product as us. And I can build it. I can steal your market share. Don't worry, it's coming soon. But when I went to Manchester, their main market was golf, and we were weak in golf. So we thought, okay, that's a good match. And they were weak in East Asia and South America, and we are strong in East Asia and South America. So we said, okay, this means 1 + 1 = 4, not 2. We are going to be adding to each other's benefit. And the management agreed to stay, and that's what we are going to continue as well, pushing for the management to stay, because I want them to have confidence in their own businesses and stay in the business. Attractive working capital model, and now a strong balance sheet. Just to show how the investors, shareholders portfolio look like. We have KSP. KSP has been with the group for a long time, since the listing. It's a group of investors from Singapore, and they are now down to 17%. CG Corp belongs to a Nepalese billionaire, and he has about 17% as well. Citi, Finance, Hargrave, and others came when we went through the last fundraising, and after we presented to them, they have shown their confidence, and I'm so glad that they accepted what we are doing and supported us. And the last one is me. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Bharat. Thank you.